Alright, what is going on, everybody? So, today's video is all about the side quest for the month of April. And I wasn't planning on making a video about this because I think more than enough people have already made good videos explaining it, but this video is basically going to be breaking down what you can do with these extra keys, because for the first week, if you go into this quest, these quests were locked, and so you couldn't move around. And basically what happened is some people would go down this path up here, but then take this turn and go down, so then they would miss out on a key. And if you miss out on one key because you only had enough to do the exact amount, you basically wouldn't be able to fully explore and get the rewards that you're supposed to be getting from the event. Yeah, this event right here. So this event, you have to fully explore each week on threat level 5. And if you messed up in the first week, that means you're just screwed out of this, which is kind of annoying. So basically, to compensate for that, they unlocked the map so you can now move around. And you can also do that in these ones as well. Let me just show you in there. I've already done this, so there aren't rewards here, but you can also move around in here. And now it should be easier for people to not mess up and go down the wrong path, basically, because if you go down the wrong path on these quests, you actually, because the key is required here, you can't quit out and go back in, but you can actually do that for these. So if you like die versus Kindred, don't worry about reviving. You can, if you die versus him, you can just go back in and do it over and over, and the key doesn't actually get used until you make it through the quest. But for the other ones, you did have to not make a mistake, so yeah, to compensate, they gave these 4 keys. But for players like me, and many others who did it correctly, you basically have 4 keys that you can do whatever you want with. And obviously, all the rewards are one time, so you can't do threat level 5 again. So what I've done is I've outlined the optimal way to get the most rewards out of these 4 keys using various trains of thought. So let's get right into them. And just as a quick disclaimer before I get into this rewards breakdown, if you did make any mistakes in the first week, and therefore you had to use a key to fix that, then you won't be able to get all the rewards here, so you're just going to have to cherry pick the top of whatever you want. But none of the rewards are really too massive. It's not like you get a full ascension or anything, so don't feel too stressed even if you did make a mistake. It's fine. It happens. But try not to make any more mistakes, because every mistake is one less vault path that you get of those bonus rewards. But yeah, so over on the forum post, you can actually see all the rewards, and there's just so much text here. Basically, all you need to know is these rewards don't change the Mysterium that you get. The shards do increase going for higher threats, but these aren't really that relevant. Really, what you want to be caring about is these rewards on these vault paths. And the Mysterium also doesn't change here, but the other rewards do. So you're going to want to be going for the ones that you want over here. So I think most of the people that are going to be watching this video already did threat level 5. If for whatever reason the hardest difficulty you could get through was threat level 4, then you're going to have to be looking at 3, 2, and 1 to decide which rewards you want. But for most people that just do threat level 5, you get to pick from 3 and 4. So these are the ones outlined here. And the first train of thought is just going to be what I think a lot of people will do, which is just do 1 week. And just do that all the way through with all your keys. So I think a lot of people probably already just did this for week 2, threat level 4, and just collected all these rewards. But as you can see, the rewards actually go up each week in the various categories. So if you're going to do that, I would say wait till week 4 and then do that at threat level 4, and that'll give you more than any of the previous weeks. But that is not a very effective way to do this either, because that way one of the paths will have nothing, and one of the paths will have this tier 2 class alloy, which it's only 10%, so I don't think really anyone cares about 10% of that thing. So yeah, I would recommend doing one of these other options and just targeting which item you want specifically. So the first one I'm going to show is the one that I think the majority of players would opt for, which is this tier 2 primordial dust. You can actually get 50 of it if you collect every week of it from threat level 4. If you care mostly just about your top of your roster, this will give you a quarter of an ascension. It's not going to immediately give, it's not like 100 that it might push you over the boundaries, but this will work towards that, so you will be able to get 50 free dust this way. But that's not what I'm going to be doing. I'm actually going to be looking at threat level 3 and threat level 2 even for the rewards that I want to get. You might be thinking, why? Well, it's basically because this tier 1 dust, and if you are Valiant or Paragon, you know that tier 1 primordial dust is actually pretty hard to come by for us players, because usually those are reserved for the lower tier, so unless you can do every single threat level, it's going to be hard to get this stuff. So because of that, I'm actually going to opt for it, just because there's so much that you can get. So if you take these 4 paths, you can get 105. So over just barely over a full 5-star ascension or 2 4-star ascensions, which I'll take that over a quarter of a 6-star ascension, honestly, just because there are 5 stars that I want to ascend, and you just hardly ever come by this stuff. So that's what I'm going to be doing. But I understand that this is like a niche kind of thing, so I do think most of the people will take the 50 tier 2 primordial dust, but personally I'm going to opt for the full 5-star ascension and probably just ascend either my Zemo or my Tigra for the content creator challenges. And lastly, if you do want to go this route, you can get a pretty decent amount of 6-star shards this way as well. You can get, what is that, 12,000 6-star shards. Personally, I care way more about the other stuff. So yeah, this one's not even a consideration for me, but if you do care more about 6 stars, then you can go for this route and get a free 6-star crystal. Oh, and one thing I also forgot to mention is that week 3 and week 4 are not out yet. So regardless of which one you're going for, you're going to have to wait for week 3 and 4 to come out to be able to get the most out of your rewards. Because for any of these, the best rewards are going to be in week 3 and week 4. So no matter what, you're going to have to wait unless you just want to pump through week 2 and say, oh, I'll lose out on some rewards and I'll just get it over with. You can do that. That is an option. But if you do wait, you will get better rewards. So just keep that in mind. So what does this look like in game? So for my option with the tier 1 primordial dust, it would basically be go into here, because I would need week 2 of threat level 3. So I would go in here, and as you can see, some of these paths have these shards and some of them don't. So if you're splitting your rewards throughout multiple weeks, make sure to go down one of the paths that has these, just because that's free shards you get. And none of these paths are like ever difficult, so just, get the free rewards by going down one of the paths that has the shards. But so if I went down this path, for example, I would get this threat level 3 key for week 2. So after I finished that, I would be able to go into week 2, threat level 3, and I would have 1 key, which means I could only do it 1 time, but I would go down this path and get 20 primordial dust. And yeah, that's basically just how it works. You just want to take the corresponding key from the maze and then use that to make sure you go down the right path. Like, don't accidentally go this way, because then you won't be able to get the reward you want, which is up here. So yeah, all you got to do is make sure that you go down the right quest for the maze, and then you want to go down the right path to collect the rewards you want. And I can't show you for week 3 and week 4 because those weeks aren't here yet, but you would basically just do the same thing for those weeks. And if you did all of that, you could either get 105 tier 1 dust, or if you went the tier 2 dust route, you could get 50 dust there. And if you went the 6-star shard route, you could get 12,000 6-star shards. Oh, and a quick note. Make sure that you spend your Mysterium if you're getting close to 50,000, because you get Mysterium for every single path of the maze and path of the vault that you do. So if you're getting close to 50,000, you're going to want to spend some, because if you hit 50,000, you won't be able to get any more, and it will just get deleted. So yeah, make sure that you do not overcap on that. So yeah, hopefully this video was helpful and informative to anybody that was sitting on these keys and was wondering what they should do with them. If you did like the video, make sure to hit the like and subscribe buttons. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, spread love, not hate. Peace, everybody.